We found a way to make Catan like 10 times better by making it more realistic. Because at the moment, the game doesn't make any sense. But don't worry, we've upgraded the rules and maxed out the theme to make Catan an all-around better game. And we'll be submitting this version to the Catan people as an official expansion, if it passes the U test. So let's start where all settlers start, in the middle of the ocean.
There once was a crew of settlers who went on a quest for better or worse. Their ship hit the land and the story begun on the island of Catan. Someday resources will come, we'll build big homes and we'll drink good rum. Then more colonists came, now it's time to play the game.
As you arrive on the island, you are able to start your first settlement with the resources you brought with you, giving you a better sense of your surroundings. But the rest of the island is a dark and mysterious place, which you can only discover by venturing further inland.
Oi, Jimmy, this spot you picked out for our settlement better be good, or I'll have you chopping wood for a month. Yes, mother. If this placement of yours causes us any trouble, you're really gonna get it from me, you hear? Mom, I said okay. Gosh. Don't you use that foul language at me, you sheep.
So your little colony starts getting comfortable, collecting resources or whatever, but then you'll start having babies, and then the in-laws move in and Uncle Jack starts eating lamb chops for every meal, and soon you realize you need to expand. It would be near impossible to put your second settlement in some random part of the island, so it only makes sense if it was attached to your first settlement. After these two initial settlements, you find yourself with exactly one of each resource remaining. This is where the initial placements end and the game starts. As you continue to expand inland, you realize that you aren't the only ones on the island, as you make contact with another colony. Now you have a choice to make. Do you engage in trade since you are now physically connected, or do you aggressively seek to destroy them? It's likely that one of you will choose the violent option here because we're going for realism and, you know, humans. And since this is to be expected, your ship came equipped with weapons, which is why every player starts the game with a knight card. If you are connected to another player's colony, all it takes to destroy an opponent's road or settlement on your turn is to play a knight card. This would remove those pieces from the game. However, they wouldn't go down without a fight, which is why they can also play a knight card as a reaction to stop you from destroying their shit. This uses up both of your knight cards and starts the countdown to largest army. Y'all decide you've shed enough blood and it's probably time for some peace and prosperity, so now you start to buy development cards.
Oi, Jimmy! You lazy good-for-nothing, go fetch some ore from the quarry. We need to build ourselves up a bit.
But Mom, I chopped wood yesterday.
I didn't say nothing about wood, Jimmy. You dumb in the head. I said go get some ore. And while you're at it, like and subscribe like your older brother.
I'll like and subscribe to whoever I want, Mom. Once your colony starts getting into development cards, the pace of the game increases dramatically, as technology should do. Road building now works as a passive. You've learned road building, and as such, once per turn, whenever you build a road, you can place an extra road. Year of Plenty is also a passive, because it's a year of excess resources, which only makes sense that you could build things more cheaply. As such, once a turn, whenever you build something, it costs one less resource to do so. Monopoly, as the name suggests, should only allow you to get that particular resource, and you do so by placing your Monopoly card on top of a resource from the bank. This permits only you to draw that resource when it is rolled. And finally, victory points. In normal Catan, if you got a victory point early, it kinda sucked. But now, these actually serve a purpose. You can place the victory point card under any settlement, and that protects it from ever getting destroyed. Now that's a victorious feeling. As the game starts ramping up, players will quickly achieve some of the special victory points like largest army and longest road. However, whoever is the owner of the largest army doesn't get any points, but instead gets some buffs to their knight cards. Now when attempting to destroy a settlement, it cannot be defended against, because you literally can't win against the largest army. Note that cities and victory point settlements can't be destroyed.
Oi! What are you doing over there with that large army in front of our city?
Oh, we were gonna try and attack it.
Attack it? Are you out of your mind? You would all be killed before you even—
Charge!
Are you seeing this, Robert? They are trying to break our rock walls with swords. Guess they've never played rock, papyrus, sword before. Maybe if they practiced a bit more by playing Catan online with Colonist.io, a free-to-play version of Catan that has everything you need to binge some Catan games. You can play with people online or play together with friends.
Oi! Did you say that Colonist.io has free online Catan?
Yeah, and they sponsored me too.
You hear that, men? Retreat to your internet devices!
As for Longest Road, I was thinking about once per turn being able to reposition a road. This would allow for some really interesting maneuvering to set up for an attack or defense. It wouldn't give you 2 victory points, but it can really help you pull off some surprise attacks. Now what about the robber? How did they fit in? Well, for one, it was always weird that the robber and the knight were represented by the same token. Someone had to call it out. And since knights got a huge buff, I think knights wouldn't have the stealing mechanism anymore. That would be just for the robber. Now, since the robber is an NPC type character on the island, it would make sense if their stealing wasn't biased. So when a player rolls a 7, that player rolls again until they roll a non-7 number. Then that player places the robber on a hex with the matching number, and all players with attached settlements must remove a resource from their hand and put it in the desert. These resources are stolen and cannot be accessed for the rest of the game. This real version of Catan is pretty neat and pretty on theme, but there are still a few questions we need to answer. For example, what is the win condition of this game? Is it still 10 victory points? Will Jimmy like and subscribe? Are settlements that are destroyed permanently destroyed? What would you add or remove from this game? Once we come to an agreement in the comments, we'll make another video of us playing this game, but you don't have to wait for that. You can try this game out with just the base version of Catan. And if you like finding different ways to play Catan, you should check out this video.
Oi, Jimmy, get off that YouTube and start harvesting wheat.